This is my third time trying this, so let's give it a go. So, creativity is dying, and it is you. That is the answer. God, I am already forgetting the name of the title. The title of the video before I even begin. Great start to my first time back in 2 months. Any of you who watched last time, which there was 22 of you, hopefully there's some people that are back, especially the one person that liked the video. Appreciate that, whoever that was. It might have been me, I haven't checked. But where I've been is I have just not been posting. I have had the urge for a while, I just haven't done anything with it for a while, and I need to change that. And because I'm a very creative person, I like to describe myself as a bit of an artist, but I feel like my creativity has been lacking when it comes to actual stuff. Like, you'll probably see at some point during this Minecraft footage, I got pretty creative with what I built here. I built this initially during my first recording. This is the second recording where I'm just finishing up on the inside. The first recording, the rabbiting went crazy, but I'm already starting. You've also probably noticed anyone that's come back, new background footage. That's because I probably said in the first time, I just wanted to change it up a little bit. And you'll probably be seeing that I'm playing on a super flat create mod world that I've been playing on for like coming up to a week, maybe a little bit more. And I've been enjoying it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And that's the thing that people, a lot of people aren't having fun anymore. That might just be me being a person who is outside of school now, seeing people who are in school or in a full-time work just not having fun. Because honestly, we need to joy max. Joy maxing is like the move, and one way I find to joy max is creating. Creating is like a good way to like have fun, but a lot of people don't create for two main reasons, which I'll talk about briefly before I get on to the other points, because I only have 24 minutes and 32 seconds of footage that I recorded, which is a lot less than last time. I think my first recording there was like an hour and something of recorded footage, and all of that had me talking in it. Luckily I've learnt from that. I recorded this footage without game audio, and I've just muted me talking because there was a lot of rabbiting. But I learned that from trial and error, and a lot of people say that they don't have enough time to do this trial and error. They don't have enough time to create, and I would say you're lying. You're full of shit, right? Because you have plenty of time to create, you just don't see it correctly. Oh, here, I'm doing a quick view of the outside. Look at that! That looks sick. Hopefully I don't do any splicing so that this gets out of place. That looks sick. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. You're lying if you say that you don't have enough time, because realistically you probably have like a down hour or something like that where you can chill. Use that hour if you really want to create, and if you don't want to create, why are you watching this video? But use that time to do a little bit, because one thing that I've learned recently is ignore that clutch. But now I've brought attention to it, so everyone's gonna look. No, trust me, I made it, because see, I lived, so I made that clutch. Anyway, you probably may be thinking that, but I want to spend that time doing other things or something like that. But one thing that I've learned is that it's better to give 30% than give 100%. Because if you give 100%, you're eventually going to run out of steam, because not everyone's David Goggins. At least, I assume that's how Goggins works. I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. But you just need to make sure that you are putting in some effort, because that builds the endurance to keep going. It's like a 10k. It's a lot different. I touched my mic there, sorry. It's a lot more different to a 1k, which I learned myself when I did it myself. Because at 1k, it's a short time. It's not that long, and it's not that hard to do. But you would think that, oh, a 10k is just a bunch of 1ks stacked on top of each other. But the thing is, you forget that after the first 1k, you're going to be tired. So you're going to need to go through more, and then more, and then more, and then more, and then more. So you end up getting really tired. So the main difference is just taking it slow. You would still get through that 10k. Maybe not as fast as a guy that sprint through the whole thing. But if you walked, you still did it. And that's the difference, that's the key difference. If you walk through life, you still did it. And you still tried. Still did better than someone else who just sat on the escalator that is life and just let it pass you by. But instead for you, you saw the escalator as one of those sushi restaurants where they let the stuff go around on carousels, and then you kept taking your little bits of sushi, which are your creative endeavors. So the solution for you lacking time to create is simply just using your time a little bit better to, let's say, put 30 minutes into learning how to play an instrument, or 30 minutes into doing neat little doodles, or doing a bit of writing, filming a video, something like that. Just put any amount of time in, because any amount of time is better than no time. So one thing that I could say to you, anyone that says that they lack time, spend like however small amount of time you want to spend on a single project for like the next week. You'll find that by the end of the week, you did a lot more than you would have done if you did jack. Well, obviously you did that more than you would have done if you did nothing, because doing nothing meant that you did nothing. But the thing is, you don't realize that until you've done it, because you'll just keep sitting behind the fact that, oh no, I don't have enough time, when you do. But another factor that someone might say, but they might not say this, but they'll feel it deep down. They'll feel like they can't create because they fear being judged by other people. The internet is a massive place. Huge. You know, it's known as like the way to connect everyone around the world. Whether that's good or a bad thing can be debated later on. I'd say it's a good thing, but on a large it's a bad, but whatever. People who fear judgment, it's valid, because back in tribal times you would be afraid of being kicked out of your tribe, because, you know, Ugg doesn't want to get killed, because without your tribe you're alone, and when you're alone you die. But in modern times, when you're alone, you're chilling, because I've been alone recently. Can't say I've died, but that's besides the point. So you may be asking,
so what's the solution to this then? Because surely Einstein, if you're so smart, then you should have a solution.
I'm getting there, okay? Calm down. But the solution to it is make a fool of yourself, man. People take themselves too seriously nowadays, and you'll see that best in the polarization of people. And you may be asking, what do you mean by that? And what I mean by that is that people slowly become the same because of the fact that social media deems certain things correct, and then they become the same. We saw that during the performative males and that sort of thing. Because they've got the Dubai chocolate, they've got the Labubu, they listen to Claro, they've got the feminist books and the literature. That's all performative, and they were able to do that because it was a select group of people that were doing the exact same thing, because it was a tried and true, perfect formula to try and take off and show this specific thing. And honestly, don't know where these chickens come from. I don't sit in the nether for long enough to get those chickens to spawn. But the main thing that people like... Let me rephrase. One thing that rose from that trend for me was the fact that it showed that people stick to what is proven to be good and true. And that's not good for a society that supposedly has a dating epidemic, where people struggle to find partners because everyone's so toxic and that blah 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 blah. Probably one of the main factors that make that so hard is the fact that people aren't themselves. They don't show who they are. And that's why you'll have these Instagram accounts that'll just post cringy content on purpose, because it's just an extreme countercultural measure to, like, go against all these serious, nonchalant people, or these other people that fit these certain stereotypes, because I find them so draining. Anyone that's nonchalant, do the opposite of hit me up. Block me. Don't talk to me, because I don't want to talk to anyone that's nonchalant, because anyone that's like that, they just hide who they are. And I get some people are like nervous or like don't like talking to people. I get jump scared here. That caught me off guard. It actually got me. But anyway, anyone that like isn't afraid of showing who they are, they're immediately the coolest people in the room. People who aren't afraid of being themselves are the people who win. Because for me, the whole purpose of life is to have fun. So whoever is watching this video, you need to make sure that you make a fool of yourself, whether it's in public, to your friends, or even in private, to just humble yourself and ground yourself. And if you do it in front of people, it shows people that you are, like, human. And it's cool. Especially in a time where, you know, as I said, nonchalant people, they show that they're not human, pretty much. Because I feel like they're pretty much not human. Like, Clavicula, I feel bad for the dude. I'm gonna be honest, I feel really bad for Clav. I feel like he's just a neurodivergent guy who went down the wrong path. I feel like me and Clav could have been great friends, but instead now he's a looks-maxing black pillar who thinks his whole worth as a person is destined around his looks. Which, don't get me wrong, he's a good-looking guy, but I don't think if I want to be smashing my face with a hammer to get that look. Just saying, I don't want that. But I am going off on a tangent again, but it was relevant. I'm doing better. And here's the thing. You need to try and just make. Here's what I would say the solution is to anything. Any issue or any trouble you have in life, it's just to create. Just make stuff, man. Like, no matter what it is, whether it's so small, and whether you even share it, I would recommend sharing stuff. Even though people won't see it, most likely. Share it anyway, just the feeling that someone might see it is good. And it feels nice. You know, my practice with editing is from previous attempts of becoming a YouTuber, which they were doomed to fail. I never spoke, it was on Switch, it was only created off of 30-second clips, you know, completely doomed to fail. But I still tried. I had a few successful videos. My YouTube Shorts, whenever I would post on YouTube Shorts, one of my most popular ones got 4K views and like almost 50 likes. And I've had popular Instagram posts on like one of my private, well, not private, but Instagram accounts that I won't directly link to myself. That got like 150 likes. That was big. I was quite chuffed with myself, except for the fact that that one I made, but it really wasn't the point of the account. The point of the account was just to say how I feel, but that one was more of just like a vague statement of... The statement that I said was a pretty good one though, to be fair, because I'm very good at these like one-liner sort of things. Telling my parents that the the video that they were showing me of a polar bear is AI is like saying to a kid that Santa isn't real. That one got me a lot of likes, which, yeah, I did find that one pretty funny. It was based on true events. That was sad. But I don't know, it didn't feel authentic. So, create authentically, too. Don't just create just because it's going to be popular. Create because you want to create it. That's the rule of thumb. If you think that you like it, do it. Because, honestly, I know this video isn't the best written because it's not really scripted. I'll flash my script up on screen. As you can tell, it's not very sound. But I'll try and cover up the parts that are coming up next because I'm going to move on shortly. But I'm sure I'll get better eventually, and that's the whole point. I'm trying to up my communication skills. That's one of my key goals with this gap year that I'm on right now. But now to get onto the last step, like, but what if you have the time and you don't fear the judgments and you want to create but you just don't? I wouldn't necessarily call you lazy, but I wouldn't necessarily say that you're not lazy, because I was in a similar position before, don't get me wrong. So the challenge that I've decided to set myself now is to post every single day, at least for the days of the summer, on my Instagram account. Flash it up on screen. There it is. Flash it up again and again and again, again. And here's the QR code. So scan that and follow that if you want to see my posts every day. Because it will be unique every day as well. That's my goal, to try and make my days a little bit more interesting. Because I had Tuesday, which I know was kind of forgettable. Meanwhile, the other days weren't really forgettable, but it was like that one Tuesday being forgettable kind of annoyed me, so I decided I'm going to make every day rememberable. I could have just said memorable, but if you want to see some of that stuff, it might give you a little bit of inspiration. I don't know. Follow. Give it a follow. First post is going to go up at the beginning of the 23rd, probably at like midnight British time, because I'm British. Ooh. Sorry for scaring you. But why would I create though? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. So why should I create? Because if you don't, AI is going to do it and you're just going to die. And AI doing it is boring. It's boring. There's no soul in anything that AI creates, except for Tung Tung. He was born without a soul, and then the people gave it to him. Oh. I know exactly what I'm putting there. You would have seen it, but I know exactly what I'm putting there. But yeah, you should do it, otherwise... Sorry, tap the mic again. You should do it, otherwise AI will do it. And then, once AI does it, you just die anyway. Creating is also a sign that you were around, and it's a little glimpse into your soul. And that's something that AI can't do, because even though Tung Tung has a soul, AI didn't give it to him. The people who created with him gave it to him. Like all those videos joking and laughing around about him, that's what gave him the soul, not the AI videos that followed and used him. So, take that as your last message. And I'll leave it with a quote for those who begin to try and create, but then after the first post does like bad, they begin to think, oh, I might as well stop, because I've been creating for a bit now and nothing seems to be working. I'll leave you with this quote. It was from a book that I'm reading, The Conditions of Love, The Philosophy of Intimacy. That's the name of the book, by John Armstrong. And one of the quotes, quite early on into the book, says, "To judge the whole of a process by the experience of the beginning is the mark of immaturity," which I couldn't agree with more, and I need you, viewer, whoever you are, he, she, they, them, that's right, liberals, I'm woke. Zeezer. I really need to learn how neopronouns work. If you want to educate me on neopronouns, put it in the comments or message me on my Instagram, which yet again is watcha. There, it's right there on the screen. It's right there. You could just get your phone out and scan it, and then there you go. My account with 0 followers. Watcha, watcha. So yeah, please support my current goals on my Instagram, which for the third and final time, wait, actually no, I'll do something different. Kamehameha. Yeah, please. Also, if you don't want to support my Instagram, I need to wrap up faster. Please subscribe, please like, follow me on Instagram. Please, 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 please. I still have a little bit of footage left. Please. Okay, goodbye. Bye.